evening, mga kalaro, and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro channel that talks about a different kind of game, the reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak, Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Vice Chief Bisdak, Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
My canonical winner pick lives to fight another day, which means this is in order.
There you go. Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't think about the logistics with the headphones, but
There you
this
go.
this is in order. Let's tighten this up. Oh yeah.
The immunity of Zhao's canonical winner pick without having any sort of immunity idol alliance to speak of or any kind of clue as to what's happening in the tribe right now.
Exactly.
Exactly. Anyway, also with us here is the man with the thoughts, Martin Vicencio. Martin, how are you doing?
I wish to give a moment of silence to our fallen robot. This is for you, Bruce. I am good.
Okay, for tonight, we are going to talk about the latest episode of Survivor Season 45 entitled How Am I the Mobster? But before we begin, do consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get updated whenever we come up with new episodes on this channel. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs whenever we talk Survivor, you can go wherever you get your podcasts and search for Council of Titos. And so, without further ado, let's begin. All right. So, I just have to preface this episode tonight by saying that this last episode was one hell of an episode.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You
gotta
beg
take-
to differ, Martin.
I gotta
okay.
take the L on this. I gotta take the L on this. You were right. It was a
Uh,
heartbreaker. All the
okay.
Bruceites out there.
Well, I didn't intend it to be that good, be like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, okay. I had a different. Yeah, we'll talk about it later in the predictions because we were supposed to talk about the predictions later. But anyway, yeah, this was one hell of an episode. Let's talk about the highs first. What do you guys have, Joe?
The 80s montage. The 80s montage.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Oh my god. That song from Top Gun, right? It's from Top Gun?
Yes,
It really was a
is.
song from
my
Top Gun?
God.
Oh, okay,
It
there you
is.
go.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
didn't know
a
that.
song. It's a song from Top Gun, and
Is it the volleyball? The
Yes,
volleyball montage music?
it
Okay, okay.
I love
And,
it. I love that.
And it's insane, right? Because they actually spent money to get the rights to that song.
Wait,
Just for a joke, dude. Like, for a joke.
'Cause
wait,
don't-
isn't
wait,
what?
is
It
it
maybe isn't like
Paramount?
the
It's
Top
same
Gun?
studio?
Yeah, it
right?
might be the same studio.
That's
So
But
they
still
might
have to
not
pay for
have
the
any-
rights to the song.
True.
Yeah, he has the right. Yeah, that's true too.
True. Yeah.
Gotta
So
agree
that,
with you.
but yeah, that was fun, and especially when you my additional note on that is we get a shot of the guys, of the guys broing out, and
Yeah.
then right after that we get a shot of Drew cleaning the pot.
Like the parents, like the parents just came home. Oh god, I gotta clean.
They're Playing with the Boys by Kenny
Yep,
Loggins.
Playing with the boys.
There you go.
from Top
Oh,
Gun.
God.
Broing
Okay.
out.
Oh,
Yeah, the
But
boys broing out, farting left and right.
passing gas. Drew flexing like. That was the best.
for out of an anthropological curiosity, like, okay,
Okay.
sure, that was okay. So it looks like his whole Basile thing was just like him trying to blow smoke up everybody's ass, because as this episode just very clearly shows us, there is no Basile,
Yeah,
because he's not, he doesn't hang with the boys or whatever, right?
yeah.
He's just Drew. Like,
Damn it, Drew.
Basile doesn't exist.
I've been deceived. How could you?
Well, there,
He was-
Martin being blindsided, that's another like person in the list of people that this guy is blindsided.
He literally played with one of the boys right now. Played my feelings. But yeah, I love that segment. Best segment in the episode too. I agree.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
I
fun,
mean,
man.
but again, going back to the whole juxtapotito thing,
Mm,
juxtapotato, right?
the
I really should
juxtapotato.
get like a potato, like a picture of a potato,
Yeah.
and put it there. I'm no longer Vice Chief Bisdak. I'm like
You're now juxtapotito.
juxtapotato.
Or
Juxtapotato
just the
Jow.
potato.
Yeah, and I'll get like a Mr. Potato Head doll or something, and like carry it around, like, hey, this is me. Sometimes I have a beard, sometimes I don't.
Ooh.
Well, no, it's a mustache, right? Mr. Potato Head has a
Yeah,
mustache.
it is a mustache.
But yeah, going back to how like film or television movies, whatever, is inherently an art that is all about the juxtaposition of
Mhm.
images with images, images with sound, sections with sections. Part of what makes the part of what made that 80s montage thing, I think, so powerful was the fact that it was juxtaposed against such emotional content
Yep.
with the girls and their
With the ladies' night.
yeah, and their letters from home,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, that was
Like the letters from home hit harder because of the 80s montage, and the 80s montage hit harder because of the letters from
Mhm.
home.
Mhm.
It's like one could say that good art is about creating good contrast.
Mhm.
And if there's something that this episode did really well, it was create so much contrast, so we can sort of appreciate the highs higher, and we can appreciate the lows that much lower, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I suppose that's two highs in one, right? Like the 80s montage was amazing, but also all of that emotional content was amazing.
Mhm.
Like
No, make it. Yeah, go ahead. Finish the thought.
yeah.
right, as the token married person in the council, um, the stuff that Emily was talking about really spoke to me. I'm like, yeah,
Mm.
like I was like that once, like me get married? No, what are you talking about?
No, no.
And my survivor moment was the pandemic, right? Like that was when I was like, okay, this is something that fundamentally changed me. And so I can kind of relate to Emily on that point. And it was like, wow. So the juxtaposition, the highs being higher and the emotional moments being emotionaler, you know um and yeah, this was a time that good things happened in the sanctuary.
Exactly.
Emily
Finally.
realized that she wants to get married, or that
Or well,
she might
she's
get
open.
married, right?
She's,
Yeah, she's
open to the idea.
she's
No.
open to the idea of marriage. So it's like,
Yeah.
wow, yeah, good things
Good
do
things
happen.
finally happened. Something good finally happened. But one could say that another not so good thing also happened there. But we'll discuss. I'll talk about it later in the lows. Yeah.
Yeah. And since we're on the topic of the sanctuary,
Mm.
did survivors start a week late?
That's what I'm thinking. That's actually in my low.
Huh?
Because this was the Thanksgiving episode. This
Yeah.
was the episode with
yeah.
the turkey, the mashed potatoes, and all of that. Last
This
week they only
was-
had just a rotisserie chicken.
This was supposed to be like, this is what Kendra was asking for, right?
Yeah.
Before she got voted out.
Was this is what she was hoping for. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah. Did survivors start a week late? But I guess I could call it a high because it's the time that good things happened in the sanctuary.
Mhm.
They got a belated Thanksgiving meal,
Mhm.
even though it happened like months ago.
That's true, bro.
And even the guys I think mentioned that they were also getting a Thanksgiving with the fish that Austin caught. Right? They also mentioned like, oh, we've got our own Thanksgiving or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think this was the intended Thanksgiving episode, and they probably just started late.
Yeah.
So,
Or were they supposed to have like a double episode somewhere, but then like
Because it
You know,
became
it-
1 hour episodes. they couldn't
Yeah.
take up 2 hours
It's too
of
much
airtime.
already.
Or like extended coverage of the like Palestine Israeli or the Hamas Israeli conflict. I don't know.
Because
We
it is
don't know.
CBS. That's true. That could be a
We don't know.
possibility. Because when
Yeah.
I was watching Survivor in the States, most of the local channels do have the news minutes before Survivor. This is their block, like their block time for that. Actually, the news for
Right.
local
So
CBS ones. So
I don't
yeah,
know.
could be a
Just
possibility.
just a thought. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a double episode." Oh,
Wait,
Hamas.
news.
All right,
News.
News.
all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cover that. Yeah. But yeah, or they started a week late. I don't know.
They probably
But
started a week late. That's more likely in my mind.
it
Yeah.
was a valiant effort though. Would have been cool if this came out a week earlier. But
Yeah.
what can we do?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah,
Yep.
I agree with you. Before I throw it over to you, Marts, now, I just wanted to highlight, especially that letters from home. That I have actually have here like because I am writing scripts or
Ooh.
game sequences right now for a basketball league that I'm working for. Uh, I'm all about make finding a narrative that can be used for for games or episodes.
Narratives. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I'm while I was watching it, as I rewatched it today, this episode, I was more and more seeing a kind of narrative that we were seeing, and it was highlighted especially with the letters from home for me. And it was the fact that all of these survivors, they're showing us that these survivors are human. These
Yeah.
survivors are human. They're showing us this the and it's those who can balance the strategy with the humanity that will prevail in this game of survivor, right? And it goes
Yeah.
back to that whole idea of balancing out your strategy and your social game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what, especially in this episode, they really wanted to push forward the fact that these are not toys or dolls, or I'm sorry, Marts, these are not robots, right? That are just
Yeah.
on the and they took out the robot after this
Oh.
episode, right? But yeah, these aren't robots, these aren't toys, these aren't dolls. They're human
They're
beings that are
human.
really put in a tough situation that brings out a lot of their humanity, and it tests their humanity, and it it brings them to points where they come to realize things, just like how Emily realized her got her epiphany, and Jake also hit the quote unquote survivor wall, right? All
Yeah.
of these things, and even Julie with that sense of shame, because she made those real honest to goodness connections with both Kelly and Kendra, and she had to vote both of them out. And then for Drew to come in and assure her that they were good no matter what, right? And yeah, it just goes to show, and the letters from home hit home even more. We saw how the ladies were being propped up by their loved ones, right? You're a warrior. You don't need to look for an idol because you are my idol,
Yeah, I
right?
love
Yeah.
that
That
line.
was such a,
That
and even
was
Julie's letter. We don't get a confessional about her history, about her divorce and all of that, and raising a children or a child alone. But yeah, I think it was a relative who told her that you're looking for, I think you were looking for heroes, but no, you needed to be a hero because of what happened to her, but you didn't know, but even before that you were already my hero. And it brought out all of these very human feelings from the ladies, and even the guys. I mean, let's the guys being guys, the guys being boys, that's also pretty human.
Fighting.
Yeah.
Farting.
Farting left and
Farting.
right.
Passing
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, this and even Katura's human fear
Actually,
of water, that
Yeah.
that that was like really big.
That
And
was
here we didn't, that was the best, the most character that character development, we can say,
She
that
had
we got out of in this entire season so far, apart from the thing that I'm going to mention in the low. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, to your point about Katura, that's when I kind of had an inkling that it was going to be Bruce. It was like the
Mm.
editors scrambling, like, "Oh, we need to do something now."
with Katura after Bruce is gonna be taken out.
Yeah,
But
but
in a
you know that
way,
that seems to be sort of the thesis of this episode, right? Like being able to balance out the strategic elements of the game with the sort
The
of inherent
social, the
humanity.
humanity. Yeah.
Yeah, and how difficult it is. Like, Jeff says this is a very difficult game,
Mm-hmm.
even though like, yeah, it was true. um Jake was totally out of the loop,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
probably more so than
the Bruce.
everybody else except for maybe Bruce, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, Jake was in the loop that night, but not always, wasn't always, and right now looks to be like the top candidate for the
Mm-hmm.
goat that everybody
Yep.
brings to the end. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so um but that seems to be the sort of thesis statement of this episode, the idea of trying to balance the very human element with having to be like a game bot in sort of modern Survivor, and how difficult all of that can be. And yeah, sorry, I really like
Yeah.
this episode. I
I
have a lot.
me too. I mean,
I have
especially these past couple of seasons. You mentioned GameBot. A lot of the castaways were game bots. They were playing it as if it was a game,
yeah,
right? And this episode just hit that put the emphasis on that no, these are not game bots. They're human beings. They have human emotions. And I guess we can thank the 1 hour runtime for that, or the 45-minute runtime, or whatever,
yeah, the
for that,
hour
right? The
or
one
hour
hour
hour and a
runtime,
half,
hour and a half
whatever.
in the US.
Yeah,
The 1 hour runtime,
without the
or
ads.
yeah, without the ads, for that, because we get more of these human moments. We get to see these castaways displaying more human emotion than usual. I mean, it's not like all of the other seasons are bereft of emotion, but it's just that we get to connect even more, or we're given more opportunities to connect with the castaways, because we see even more of their humanity, of their human side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Martin, hi.
Martin, sorry, throw
Oh
it over to you. You're high.
yeah, I wanna bring it back to the Katura edit. Like that's a good high. We finally got something out of her after what? Since episode one. This is something new, a new angle. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad the editors, gave this one because I'm hoping to see more of this Katura post Bruce.
Mm.
They're
Yeah,
finally fleshing her out. It's not like a Carter edit back in Philippines. Like he's the skinny, silent sidekick of what? Jonathan Penner. Like
Mm-hmm.
Katura is now her own woman again after
Mm-hmm.
episode one. It's like episode two until the episode before this. It was like, I hate Bruce. I want Bruce out. My
Yeah.
only reason for being in the season is to take out Bruce. Now it's like, oh, thank God we have that Cthulhu we saw in episode
Mm-hmm.
one back. So welcome back, real Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the part where the editors are gonna say, "Yo, she's here to play now. We're gonna show more of her play. We're gonna show more of her
yeah.
strategy. I hope we will." But yeah,
Mm.
that's it.
Okay.
I'm very
Okay.
hopeful now.
Okay.
So
That
this is a
side of it.
good, yeah,
Yeah.
Is
Well,
is
yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
good.
Speaking of like the Katura edit, how do you think her um being a lawyer is going to come into play? Like her being a lawyer, not telling anybody that
Ooh,
she's a lawyer, and her saying that Jake shouldn't be telling people that he's a lawyer.
it's gonna bite her in the butt if they find out and she's one of the final two or three, because that happened. That has happened.
Hmm.
So if she still keeps mum about it, like, oh, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a what's her fake profession again?
I don't know.
Counselor, something different. And then they found out. I'm like, see, we have Jake here. He's so honest with being a lawyer, and you can't even be honest. Like, yeah, that might shave off some points if they figure it
Yeah.
out before the final tribal or during,
Yeah.
So if she's good, she if she still wants to play that game, better hide that. Like
Yeah,
keep it on the low.
because we've already found out
Yeah.
that Jake doesn't like being lied to by people that he thinks are his
Yeah.
Mhm.
friends.
The thing is, does
You
he
know?
think that
uh,
Katura is his friend?
right now with Bruce gone, I think Katura might be ironically option number one now.
Yeah,
Because
actually,
Bruce is gone. So, buddy, yeah,
because
he's
because
gone.
More than
you know,
Hey,
Emily, though.
Katura, how
More
you
than
doing?
Emily,
well,
Slightly. Could go either way, but
because
I
yeah, I wanna go
yeah.
back to what Emily mentioned. And where I had that in my notes.
Okay.
Again about Emily's
Uh,
humanity.
okay. Yeah.
The fact that she talks to Jake as a human and
mm,
not as a
Oh
chess piece
yeah.
that she can play around with.
yeah.
And yeah, and if she has those kinds of conversations with Jake and he doesn't have those kinds of
Mm.
conversations with Katura, I would lean more to
Oh yeah.
thinking that it is Emily who has more of his trust than Katura.
It might
Mm,
even mirror the relationship of how Emily and Caleb had
Mm,
versus Emily and
mm,
Sabaya. I think it might be Sabaya. I mean, Katura thinks he's close with Jake because they're like, in the tribe since day one, right?
mm-hmm,
yeah.
But here comes like Emily, like the new Caleb to, uh, ironically, Jake's Emily. You know, steals him away. It's like, you know what? I'll talk to you like a real human being. You're my friend. Let's be the final two or something.
mm-hmm,
And then when Katura like turns around and said, "Oh no, I guess it's just me again." So I
mm,
feel like you're right with that. If she has taught herself something that Caleb taught her, then yeah, she can totally Caleb Jake now.
yeah, but
It's
that is
good.
actually a very nice point, Marts.
It's
The full circle
parallel.
with Emily,
Yeah.
the full circle
Mm,
with Emily, like she was quote unquote lost, and then
Yep.
Caleb reeled her in, right? And now she's doing something, and then she learned from that, and now she's paying it forward, basically.
Exactly. So
the other thing that gives me pause though is that scene where Jake was crying on the beach,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there
oh
were
yeah.
two people that came up to him and were like, "It's it's all good, Mister
It's
Boston Man."
okay. Yeah,
Right?
you're okay.
It's all good, Mister Boston Man. Right? The two people
Yeah.
that were there that they showed
With
us
Bruce.
as being like people that are there for Jake potentially
Mm-hmm.
were Bruce and Katura.
Yeah.
And now that Bruce is gone, then I suppose I think what I think they're telling us is, um, well, his current only real option
Yeah.
Is
is
Katura.
Katura. But then I could be wrong, right? I could be
Mm.
wrong. That could just be like a red herring or whatever.
mm.
But that's how I read it.
Yeah, that's also a valid point. Yeah, them showing us those two things definitely can give us those that thinking, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I said I was gonna mention it in the lows, but since we were talking about Katura,
Okay.
I might as well mention it here and ask you guys the question. And this was also a question in other podcasts
Okay.
in the US. But for me here, we're all based in we're all Filipinos. What do you think of what production did getting a letter from Katura's mom?
Hmm? What? Hmm?
Okay, Mart's
Mm.
in the letters from
Sorry.
home, they got a letter from
Yeah.
Katura's mom, and then she had already broken contact with her mom for over a year.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. Sorry, yeah, sorry. I lost the context when you were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your
Ah,
thoughts on that? Did Broad do her
was
dirty?
was the mom really just the only next of kin to Cthulhu?
I
That's
don't know.
my
She got a lot of
guess.
letters.
Oh wait, so
Yeah.
it's more than okay.
She got a lot of
That's
letters from. It's letters from home.
Letters from
that's that's
literally
partly
letters
why
from home.
that's partly
Huh.
why like
That's a good
letters
question.
from home. That's partly why letters from home can be argued are superior to the family visit because you can get more
More
people
than
saying more
Mm.
things,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good
and
point.
they get this. But there's the argument to be made either way. That's an entire YouTube video. Idle Doubt or Peridium,
Mm.
Yeah.
a discussion maybe
Maybe
on
Peruvian.
letters versus family
Visit.
visit. You know, they have their pluses and they have their highs and their lows.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Twitter was sorry, X
Heck,
was kind
was
of
it
on.
buzzing?
It was, yeah, it was buzzing with the topic,
Oh,
because they were
right.
thinking if production didn't ask for Katura's consent to reach out to her
Oh,
mom, then that is sort of an invasion of privacy or something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
it could
they were
be.
saying
It
that.
could be. Yeah, if that's the case, because unless he actually did say, yeah, you can ask my mom,
Do
because
they though? Like I don't know how, I don't know the
yeah, it
behind
Mm-hmm.
the
the
scenes on this,
yeah.
but do they
Do
just
they
put
have
like a
that?
broad call out there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
I
is
don't
it
know
like
if
they ask specific people specifically and they ask for the consent
of
of
the
the survivor,
survivor. Yeah,
right? It's sort of like it's sort of like that. That's sort of my question. The impression
yeah.
that I got was it's sort of like all right, so we're taught at a Catholic school that has
Mm.
retreats for their kids, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, the
always
Palanca
The
letters.
palanca.
the
Uh-huh.
palanca letter thing, right? And they never really ask anybody specific, but there's
Mm-hmm.
always a call out like, all right, so for this particular grade level and whatever, if you want to write them like edifying letters and all of that sort of thing, just bring them into the campus ministry office by this time.
Mm-hmm.
And the it's just something that I figured they would do something like that,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, maybe you might want to write a letter for this person or that person. uh
One of the conversations also was, do they send out a blast, quote unquote, look, asking for letters for these castaways, or is there a specific point person that they ask to get in touch with relatives who might want to send letters for these castaways?
See, I would imagine that that's the case. It's sort of like when you fill out an application form for like
Mm-hmm.
employment or something. There's
Mm-hmm.
always like there's always like an
Oh yeah,
emergency
Who's the
contact or
ice?
emergency.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if somebody, if this particular person, like, on the
Mm.
back of, no, not anymore because of the data privacy law,
Mm-hmm.
but it used to be the case that on the back of your ID there used to be the
You'd
phone
have the
number
ICE.
of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Case of emergency.
in case of emergency. um they should have something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it
I actually
works.
imagine that Katura might have filled out,
Yeah.
and there might have been a question, who among your relatives would you like to possibly receive a letter from?
Mhm.
She may have disclosed that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
She may have.
yeah. And well, what might have been the case was they it's like she sent in her application, she got on Survivor, blah blah blah, and then she broke off contact with her mom,
That can happen too.
and that
Like
Oh,
was
in the
and it
but
was
process.
already too late or whatever.
she said though that she's been not in contact with her mom for over a year.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she might have started the application process long before that,
Oh, okay, got
that
it,
yeah,
got it,
that
got
could
it.
be a good. Yeah, it could be a good
right? Because
point too. Yeah.
the I'm pretty sure they start casting. I mean, they start casting these things way in
Way
advance.
earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Like the film.
mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
for
true.
We
that
have
matter,
to try
Vince.
that. We have to try how long it would take.
The
We have to
processing
test
of
it
the
out, right?
survivor. Yeah.
Yeah, the three of us. Let's send it. Not like they're gonna accept us because we're all the way on the other side of the world. Uh, yeah.
Well, they're casting for Survivor 47 now.
And that
Uh,
is that would shoot at the top of the year.
I
No,
guess
no,
so.
not no, no,
May
mid May. Yeah.
Mid-May, I guess.
May or June
Mhm.
of 2024.
Mm.
At least that's what the Survivor casting website says.
Okay.
So we are looking 6 months to a year in advance,
Mm-hmm.
where you start filling out the paperwork and stuff. So
Yeah, so it is possible. It is
It is
possible. Well, I do hope I do hope that production was able to get her consent before sending feelers out to her mom.
And it's
yeah,
kind of hard for us to know now because I think they're still under an NDA sort of deal while the season's happening,
of course.
Well,
right?
yeah,
So
but I mean,
yeah,
CBS could probably have come out
statement.
with
Yeah.
a statement, yeah, or Jeff in one of his guestings during
Oh
on
yeah,
his
that
podcast,
it's his podcast again. On
yeah,
fire.
On
on
fire.
On
fire,
fire.
yeah.
But
I
did he
didn't I
mention
didn't
it? Because
listen to
I
it
never
this
listened to
week.
On Fire. Like
You don't listen to On Fire. Well, neither do I. I think it's only
yeah,
Joe who listens to On Fire among the three of
Yeah,
us.
I didn't listen to it
I
this
don't.
week.
I don't even know where it's. So it's because
it's on
I wait for
Spotify, I
it to
think.
come out on. I wait for it to come out on YouTube, but it doesn't ever come out on YouTube anymore. Before it used to.
Yeah, I'll send you
Hmm.
the RSS feed if you want to subscribe to it on your phone.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not sure if they put it on Spotify, but yeah,
Or Apple
it's
Pod.
yeah.
All right. Apple
Yeah,
Pod.
because I mean, Google Podcast is gonna get removed already, right?
yeah,
Oh.
Because
yeah.
they're gonna shift everything to YouTube Music or something.
Google Music or whatever it is, but yeah, they're folding it into
Yeah,
one of their existing probably YouTube Music.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, so
Uh,
yeah, Katura, again, that another sign of humanity, right? Another character development, another character aspect that we saw from her
yeah.
on this one. Yeah. Any other highs, guys?
Ah, that. Oh, can we go back to
Go ahead. Go
where
ahead.
good place happens?
Where good things happen.
Good things happen. I hope this is a start of good things actually happen back to back to back and not just this episode.
Mm.
So pressure's on you, Jeff.
Well,
Mhm.
apparently,
All I can say. So
apparently, well, no,
yeah.
they design it so that the rewards get better and better,
Okay. Okay.
right?
So
So it's
that's
like
why
Guess
they
so.
juxtaposition. Last week we got rotisserie chicken. This week we got turkey and
Yes.
fixins.
And
yeah,
fixins.
like
It's better.
before
This
before
is
that they just
better.
had like sandwiches and
Yeah.
PB and J and champagne, right, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
think for peanut butter and jam. Okay.
right, so
Survivor. Okay.
they like to escalate the
Mm.
rewards
Okay.
because
Here's hoping. Here's hoping.
they're what's it? Because this is the time when when the survivors are losing steam,
Mhm.
and so they need to push them a little bit harder, and they do that by dangling a bit more of an incentive in front of them, in better rewards and stuff. Well, that's something that they do apparently.
Yeah.
They time out the rewards.
Mhm.
Just when they're about to gas out, that's when they have the rice negotiation, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor
Um,
there.
let's see that
What about you,
montage.
Jeff?
So much crying,
So much
so
crying.
much crying.
Oh,
We get
just going back to that the crying thing. One really good quote that I got from that from that portion was from Julie, and it's really good. If the food is the fuel, the letters are the fire, and in this game,
yeah,
fire is your life. That is such a
yeah.
nice quote. Such
Yeah,
a
this
nice
is
quote.
such a good episode. This is just overall. This is a very artistic episode.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
yeah. That was when you messaged me directly after, beautiful, right? That was the word that you used.
Yeah.
A very beautiful episode.
Yeah. That was beautiful episode.
Yeah.
Other stuff.
The facial expressions of Kendra are just priceless. I just have to say that. Like when, sure, Julie might have been like, Julie was having a moment in Tribal where it was like, oh,
Mhm.
it's hard to be the mom and blah blah blah, and then like and then you cut to Kendra's face where she's like, stop doing jury management. Like, that's what her face said. Just like, like, yeah. Best facial expressions. She gets the award for best facial expressions on the jury.
All the
Although
reactions.
Although we have Bruce coming up, so I
Oh,
don't
we'll
know.
see. We'll see.
We'll see how
We'll
that
see.
goes. But
Yeah.
right now we have Kendra like not Jake, not Jake. And Caleb being like, just wait, just wait.
Wait for it. Wait for it. And yeah, speaking of facial of reactions, I also love the reactions. Jake is becoming the source of reactions for this
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
I now get what he said last week. He wasn't talking about the things that came with the chicken. He was talking about I like good things because Jeff keeps saying the
Good
sanctuary is
things
where good
happen.
things happen. And then Jake was like, I like good things. So and he
yeah,
said it last week, he said it again this week. He's making it a
yeah,
Jakeism, along with that laugh, all of the stuff that he does. It's there's so many Jakeisms that
yeah.
happen. And even that reaction when I don't quite I couldn't quite figure out what he was saying because of that thick Boston accent. But he said something during the immunity challenge when Jeff was like, "This is the kind of game that you enjoy in an amusement park with popcorn and
Oh, yeah.
cotton candy." And then he looked at Jeff and he said something like, "What sort of blah blah blah?" Probably something to the tune of,
Like,
"What sort
what
of
sort of
amusement
amusement
park
parks do you
do
go
you go
to?
to?" Yeah, something like that. He's got all of these very nice reactions, very nice comments about whatever Jeff says. Actually, he reacts directly to Jeff. Like whenever Jeff says,
Yeah,
"Jake, looking good." Why, thank you, Jeff. He's not like
yeah.
things like that, and it's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun watching that side of Jake's appearance in this season.
I'm glad he made it all the way this far, man. It's like,
Mm,
he's not only because he's my canonical winner pick, right? But also because he's just so entertaining.
Ooh,
You know, like he's
yeah.
just so entertaining. That's I suppose my that's my highest of highs, man. Just the presence of Jake
mm.
on Survivor,
Yeah.
right? Like
Woo! I mean, sorry.
so much fun.
Whoa! I mean,
Whoa!
whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's like
Like,
the Joey Tribbiani of this season.
Yep,
Or something.
yep. Or he's
Yeah.
just a Joey
It's
Tribbiani,
just
a
A Joey.
Boston Joey
Yeah, a
Tribbiani.
Boston Joey.
he
Right.
also has one of one of the one of the favorites from previous season. He's also bringing a lot of like Owen Knight vibes to him. Like
Mm,
very
Oh,
yes.
okay.
very good narrator of the season,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
right? And we really gravitate towards him quite a bit. Like he's the everyman
Mm-hmm.
in the sort of weird survivor situation, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you know it's ironic because he's being edited to be kind of larger than life,
Uh-huh.
but then uh the other players are also being edited as larger than life, but larger than life in the DC kind of way, like very like heroic and
Uh-huh.
like very like I don't, or maybe this is just me and the person that I am, but Jake seems to be the most everyman-y out of all of them.
Mm-hmm. He's got our flabs, man. He's got
Exactly,
our flabs.
exactly. Like just
Yeah, what
seeing
percentage?
the
That
immunity seeing the
challenge.
immunity challenge was like lying down there. I was like, oh, that's me.
That's me.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's got the most like everyman vibes
Yeah.
from out of everybody. At least that's what I'm picking up,
Yeah.
and I
And
really like that. The good narrator of the season.
So
yeah.
he's like our Ken. That's literally me, kind of thing. Yeah.
The Ken, that's literally you,
No, no,
Martin?
no. Like
Oh,
he's the Ken version of this one in Survivor, like
Ken
Jake, because
from
he's the Barbie movie. Like the
Oh,
joke
okay.
was like, yeah, that's literally me. Every guy was gonna say that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. All right, I got it.
yeah.
Yeah, but Joe, funny that you mentioned that you see a lot of Owen Knight in him
I think Jake.
because he is also getting the Charlie Brown edit. just like our guy
Yes.
Owen Knight.
Yeah.
Not only is he such a good narrator of the season, but he's also the Charlie Brown of the season. He
Why
is
does it
not getting any good breaks at all.
why does it have to be like the people that are sort of in our kind of sphere that get these edits, right? Like, folks in the academe, people in the theater.
Yeah.
And I wait. Was Kane the guy who? No, no, Kane
No,
wasn't the Charlie Brown of last season.
it
Okay.
was it was
Anyway,
Jamie, right?
oh yeah, it was it.
Yeah,
It was Jamie.
the
they,
Jamie.
they they did Jamie dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit sore, but anyway, uh, yeah, I suppose we can say that for me, the highest of highs is Jake's presence.
Nice highest of highs. What about you, Morts? Any other highs on your side?
I think I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. For
That's
my
good.
highest of highs, actually, I think that we are slowly getting more and more of an affirmation of Emily's hero resume.
Ooh,
Yeah,
She with everything that she did in this episode, well, a lot of the things that she did in this episode, it really builds that resume, that reward win, and the emotions that she showed right after winning that, making it again back to the humanity, and then adding even more, the doing the ladies' night, making sure that it. I don't know how much of it was lip service, but she did say at the sanctuary that I knew as soon as I wanted that I was gonna make this a ladies' night. Right? She mentioned that right away. So, and then that confessional with a glass of sangria. That was such a hero confessional. That was the first time that we've seen that. She did a confessional at in the rocks, laying down on her side with a glass of sangria.
that was amazing.
That was
That was
such an
so.
amazing
That was
confessional.
such a boss move.
Yeah, right. And then the other, especially also this, the other women affirming Emily's strength in the game, despite her not apparently not seeing it because she's the what does she call herself? She's a negative Nancy.
yeah.
She's a pessimist, right?
Yeah.
But
She's a
everyone else,
mix.
especially the women, the ladies, affirming that she's such a strong player. And yeah, that her hero resume is getting padded on and padded on, and yeah, I'm having a I'm getting scared also because it might be a case of Jesse all over again, where we see the hero resume getting built, and then all of a sudden the hero, or in this case the heroine, gets cut down, right?
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
everybody knew that Jesse was amazing, and
yeah,
everybody saw his gameplay. People probably still see Emily as one of the Lulu losers, and she has that going for her.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
So, yeah, she is my Elseworlds winner pick,
Oh, also,
right? Like if Jake is my canonical winner pick, she's like the ultimate universe winner pick. You know?
oh, dude, it's true,
She's my Miles Morales.
man.
If people got that reference, comic books have alternate universes.
Yes.
So in an alternate universe, Emily is my winner pick.
Yeah. So that is what we've got for our highs. And I think that I think that all of us would agree that Emily is our alternate universe winner pick, unless I don't know. Anyway, going over to our lows this time.
Just gonna
Mhm.
say, if Emily gets if Emily wins,
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm gonna take that as I'm gonna take that as a W because that was one of my predictions from day one.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's a lowercase W then.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
lowercase W because
You
Jake
did
is my
say
winner
that.
pick was my winner pick from day -1,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, Emily was my winner pick from day one.
Yeah.
Although my idea was Caleb was gonna drag her to the end and she was, but
Yeah. But
that
if
being
But
said,
no.
so anyway,
yeah.
lows,
Lows, let's go to our lows.
lows. We've been talking for long enough. Great
Yeah.
episode. My number one low is something that was outside of everybody's control. But I think the editors could have done a better job at editing it.
Okay.
Mhm.
We were being set up for Katura to be the one to take out Bruce, or Bruce to be the one to take out Katura.
Mhm.
Instead, we
True.
got Emily taking out Bruce, which
Oh.
was kind of set up during the mat chat,
Mhm.
right? Because it was like, I'm gonna have to push back on that a little bit, Jeff. And
Yeah.
then that's when we had like the initial clash between Emily and Bruce. But then after that, just it's just been Couture's all-consuming hate for Bruce, such
Yeah.
that it would have been like the most poignant, fitting thing if they'd gone head to head in fire or whatever.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, it would have been they could have cut around it better.
Mhm.
Giving Couture more, giving Couture more than simply her hatred for Bruce, and I'm pretty sure, or not her hatred, her dislike for Bruce
Dislike. Yeah.
her dislike for Bruce in the game. What was it that she said? Well played, old man. Right at the very end, when Bruce was getting when
About to
Bruce
leave.
was
Yeah.
about to leave, right? Yeah, they could have set up the Emily and Bruce thing, Emily taking out Bruce a little bit better. Like, I'm sure she had other confessionals out there where she was talking about Bruce and how, like, oh yeah, I don't see him as a strategic partner right now.
Mhm.
I hear Katura doesn't like him,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. Instead of having it be like Katura doesn't like Bruce, Katura doesn't like Bruce, because sort of that's the setup for Katura to take Bruce out,
Yeah.
or for Bruce to take out Katura.
Yeah.
Either
Either
can
way.
be set up that way,
Yeah.
but there wasn't the payoff for it.
Mhm.
There wasn't that catharsis, if we're going to use like nice art school terms, since we've already gone down using words like juxtaposition. Yeah, so in that Aristotelian sense, there was no catharsis.
Mhm.
There was no payoff,
No
basically.
payoff, basically. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We didn't quite get the payoff of the Bruce Katura thing. The closest payoff that we probably got was that it was Katura who blew up Bruce's idea. Bruce's plan of saying that he didn't have the idol, that he gave it to Kelly, and Kelly was voted out
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the closest that we've got to a payoff, I think, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But like the show gave it to Emily.
Yeah. In the end,
Yeah,
it was Emily. It was technically Emily who really manufactured the she was, and I think I don't know where I think I heard it somewhere. I was able to catch one of the exit interviews, and Bruce admitted that it was some of the things that Emily said, especially during tribal, that assured him that he didn't need to play the idol.
Oh
I think,
wow.
yeah,
yeah, and I wasn't able to take down the quote, but Emily did say something that was captured, that was shown on the episode, that something about
if it
Bruce
goes
being,
according to plan, something.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Bruce being like confident in whatever, and not playing an idol. Bruce, I think, took that as a cue not to play his idol.
yeah.
Yeah.
Backtracking a little, this was a great tribal council.
Yes. Yes.
It
Yes. Such
so
a
good.
all of
Like,
the things that they, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we can count this as a down, but like,
Yeah.
um, they don't they make sure that people like aren't afraid of water
Huh.
Yeah, that's the thing.
when
Yeah.
But
I actually,
yeah,
but Katura did say that she prepared for it, right?
yeah,
yeah,
She
she
yeah,
said that
did
she prepared for it.
foresee.
Some of the, again, I went to X. I go to X a lot of the time nowadays after episodes. They, I think, so it was somewhere there that it's probable that, because again, going back to the whole letter from her mother thing, the letters from home probably shook something in her,
Okay, yeah.
mentally.
Her
mm,
psyche, yeah.
Yeah, her psyche, it shook her
Threw
psyche
her off.
so much so that when she got to the immunity challenge, uh, she, because she couldn't quite explain it, right? She
yeah,
couldn't explain why she was suddenly shaking.
Oh.
Or yeah,
Mhm.
even as she stepped out of the boat, she was like, "What the hell?" She couldn't. It was as if she couldn't believe
Yeah.
where she was. Right.
Yeah.
So people are saying that it might have been the fault all again of the letters from home, which
Oh.
goes back to whether or not Prod actually did ask her for permission.
Mm.
So
Well,
anyway,
there we go.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if we can count that as a low, but
Yeah.
yeah,
like really my big low was that it wasn't Katura that took out Bruce,
mhm.
because that was the story that,
That was the overarching narrative that
Yeah.
we were
yeah,
getting.
that was the logical conclusion.
Mm.
That would have been the logical conclusion to the story that they were telling.
Yeah.
And even if there's a little bit of a twist ending, the thing that makes a good twist ending is that it's logically consistent with everything that builds
Mhm.
up to it, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when while we did have that mat chat, the pushback from Emily at the start, we did see that at the when the tribes merged, Emily was trying to bury the hatchet, right,
yeah.
Yeah.
with
Very
Bruce,
fast.
and then it was Bruce who was pushing back against that idea of making amends with Emily, but we never
Yeah.
saw a confessional of Emily actually saying, I'm just saying things, but I'm still against him. She never did
Yeah.
that. I think that's one of the lessons she learned from working with Caleb. I think that she was able to
Mm.
see that it's more than that. It's more than being aggro, right? It's making human connections and strategizing based off of all of those human connections, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, for me, I actually don't have a big high, a low of lows, but I just wanted to point out what was with that that reward challenge pause right after as Jeff was rattling off the rewards.
Yeah.
You're gonna get pillows,
Yeah.
blankets, and then we get a reaction shot to Jake and I think that was Bruce, and then nothing. There was no audio. Jeff wasn't saying anything for like a
Like,
couple of
worth playing
seconds.
for?
Then back to Jeff.
Well,
Worth playing for? And then Jake was like, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
yeah, yeah. My theory there was somebody forgot to say that they're letters from home, or Jeff
Mm.
oh,
forgot to
Or
say letters from home,
or
because
he probably was gonna say it, and then all of a sudden he remembers that. Oh,
wait.
it. Yeah,
Might be a surprise. Yeah.
yeah. Might be a good
mm,
surprise for the end, right? For when they actually win already. Or he.
yeah, because
Yeah,
they
you're
were,
right. Also, it might be like Jeff knew that there was gonna be letters from home, but all of a sudden he forgot, right? As he was rattling off the
He
rewards.
blanked off. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
what are
What was
because
the third reward again? Well, I'm sorry. What was the fourth reward again?
we're playing for? We're playing for
right, because it looked like they were waiting for
something.
like letters from home, right? It was sort of
Mm.
like in Survivor 41, where Deshaun looked disappointed because there wasn't a family visit or
Oh,
something.
Mm.
Where Deshaun was like, "Oh yeah, it would have been nice if we had loved ones visit," and Jeff was like,
Mm.
"I can't be sassy, Jeff. Now we just came from the pandemic."
Well,
But
technically, we were still in the pandemic back then, right?
yeah.
That's why that's also one of the reasons why it's 26 days because they spend 2 weeks in isolation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might have been it, right? Like, they were waiting for that's what um popped into mind, right? Like,
Mm.
they were probably waiting for Jeff to say "and letters from home" because it's about that time. They know
Mm-hmm.
that the overnight. They've seen the previous seasons. They know
Mm-hmm.
that the overnight reward in the sanctuary is the loved ones, either
Mm-hmm.
letters from home or that
The
horror thing.
creepy ass video.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm hearing voices coming from the rocks. Like, you should imagine the trauma that if they actually did like videos, and imagine the trauma that like Katura would have gone through if she just heard her mother's voice.
Yes. Oh my
Like, oh my
gosh, that would
god.
have been traumatic for her.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that's what it. I think that's what it was, and yeah, I guess we could count that as a low because it was sloppy.
It was sloppy. They could have
It
just
was
like
sloppy.
edited to be shorter, right?
Yeah, they could just cut around it, but
Yeah. Anyway, I guess they were trying to put it in as a stinger, may also like even the audience is expecting letters from home, but all of a sudden he doesn't say anything, right? I don't
Yeah.
know, but it didn't land basically. If it was a joke, if it was a stinger, it didn't land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Even I was like, what? Did,
Yeah.
did did the video just freeze? Because we just had a reaction shot of Jake and yeah, that was Bruce beside him, and they were like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
What worth playing for? Worth playing for.
yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Marts? What do you got?
No, well, personally, the four red people are, maybe it's just three now, because the a slight change of heart from Julie, because he does feel like the regrets coming, right? So it's not going to be a solid foursome now. Personally speaking, that's kind of low to me, because that lowers the chances for my winner pick, Austin. If you know what I mean.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a nice character development for Julie. It
mm-hmm,
it's it's like the, oh no, I might be seen as a Don. I should stop doing this now before it's too late.
They
mm,
should they should
The
start they should really start voting each other out
yeah,
because they need numbers in the jury.
exactly.
Yeah, they
Like I
need the votes
was
actually.
yeah, I was thinking about that as well. Like it's about time for them to start voting each other out because if it's like two Reba and say like Jake,
Yeah.
Jake's winning the million.
Mm-hmm,
Like if it's two Reba in the final three and Jake, that Jake is gonna win the million. No, if it's two Reba and Emily, then Emily is definitely going to win. So
uh huh,
it's in their best interest to start cannibalizing each other. That way they'll have allies in the jury. That's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I really don't have a lot of lows for this episode, but I do have like one. It's neither a high or a low actually,
Uh-huh.
but it's a thought, and I want to be in on the conversation of Bruce and Kelly and Ponderosa. Especially after the realization of Bruce that's how his treatment of Kelly was received, right? That would be again if there's a because I don't know if you saw it, but where did I see it? I saw it as a reel on one of the social media platforms. Kelly did a reel, I think, in Ponderosa. I think it was on YouTube. There's a YouTube short of
Yeah, yeah.
Kelly in Ponderosa, and then she's doing a selfie, and then she shifts it over to Caleb. He's in the pool. He's like, I don't know if he was wasted or anything, but he was in the pool. He was in a floaty and everything. So yeah, if there is something like that to show us again, if the whole point of this season is to show that these castaways are human beings, they're not game bots, then that's a hidden scene or a short, a YouTube short I would really love to see.
I wonder because like they stopped doing proper Ponderosa videos, but
Yeah.
what they did do are those like YouTube shorts basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or those shorts. I really don't like them, but that's the best we have
Yeah.
in lieu of the fully blown
The full
like
blown.
polyblown Ponderosa videos. Um, they started doing those vertical videos
Mhm.
in 43 maybe
Oh really?
or 42.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me. It was in 43. Yeah, I remember because like I think the first person to have one was Mariah, which
Hmm.
was quite memorable for me because the super colorful
I
hair.
think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but like they stopped doing Ponderosa videos after 42, and they
Yeah.
started doing those vertical videos, which just really annoys me. But it is what it is. I'm sure that the one of Bruce is out there somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh, and I should check it out, but it's just gonna be like a 30 second, 30
Yeah,
second
that's
to
that,
one
that's
minute
that,
thing.
that's
And
the bad thing about it. It's just 30 seconds. They only do shorts, unless they have like a secret hidden scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, which
Well, we'll probably get the gist of it come a reunion after show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, although it's interesting, right? In some of Bruce's post game interviews, he started he's talked about how he's trying to have like a friendly relationship with Katura now. Like,
Mm.
what? You know, like they aren't super close, but
Hmm.
like apparently apparently they're trying to reach out and connect and all of that sort of thing. So
That's nice.
it's yeah, like so apparently it isn't like it isn't like a Drea and what's his Omer thing. It isn't like a Drea
Mm.
Omer thing where
Oh yeah.
like they're at each other's throats.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think that Katura really just got annoyed with Bruce, with how
Yeah,
with
That's
how
it.
he was, right? It wasn't anything. There weren't any deep seated emotions there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. She
If
was probably
anything, it's
just hungry.
probably yeah, true. If anything, it's probably Kelly who might have something else, right? Because
Yeah.
they're from two different generations, and again, Bruce treated Kelly the same way that he treats his own daughter. But again, Kelly didn't quite appreciate the way that she was being treated by Bruce while they were on the island, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, I wanna know what happened there. Yeah, because again, while I didn't quite fully appreciate Bruce, I didn't see the whole point of why he was such a big factor or whatever. Why he was such a favorite. Uh, he himself, well, towards the end, was going through a journey of self realization, of self,
yeah,
yeah, of finding his true self, right?
yeah.
Finding out more about himself, basically, right? Yeah. So
So
yeah,
all of that is to say we don't have very many lows.
we don't have very many lows. Yeah, we don't have very many. That was it for me. I mean, all
Same.
of my lows. Yeah. So yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to our predictions, starting with our wins and losses from last week.
Oh, Jake got the line.
Um,
I you know,
my
I'm not.
prediction.
I'm not gonna. It was a gimme.
Yeah, it was a
It was
gimme.
a gimme. How am I the mobster? Like
Yeah, it was a good.
of course that was gonna be Jake.
Yeah.
Saying
Oh,
it to
connected to that though, I think that Drew got it right. He while he was the one who said that Jake was a mobster. He's also right that Jake
Referring.
isn't a mobster. He's a thug.
It's a
He's
thug.
not. I don't even think he's a made man in the hierarchy
Yeah.
of mafia. He isn't even a made man. He's a common thug. He's nowhere near being a capo, right?
he's a goon. He's a
He's a
He's
goon.
a
goon.
goon.
That's the
He's the
word that
guy you
Drew
send out
used.
to. Yeah, he's the guy you send out to rough those who
Rough
don't
people up.
pay
Yeah.
Yeah.
protection money. Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So let's see. Joe's predictions: Emily and Bruce team up, bring in Katura. Julie breaks away from the Reba Four, force Austin to vote out D. Later on, Bruce sacrificed himself for Emily or Katura, not necessarily for the season. I'm gonna say get a small L on that because Bruce did sacrifice himself for Emily's game.
yeah.
He was an unwilling sacrifice,
Yes.
but he was Jacob in this
Mhm.
situation. You know? So I guess
Yeah.
there's a small dub there.
Okay.
Um, Martin's prediction:
There
Austin
was no
leaves the core
sandwiches, man.
four.
There was
Sorry. What was that, Joe?
Austin leaves the core
leaves the core
four.
four.
Joins Bruce and Emily. Why? Because someone mentions sandwich.
Oh, okay. All right.
Um, so for me, Emily and Bruce team up. D gets voted out because of Julie. I think that might happen next episode.
Mm,
Um, Bruce, Emily, Julie, and Jake all vote together, and the whole "you don't like hearing your name" is a nothing burger. I'm gonna take a tiny L on that last one
mm,
because it gave us the episode title, but it didn't really give us very much else.
yeah.
Mm.
at least for the episode, right? It could be setting up something bigger later on.
Later, yeah.
And then we basically predicted the end of the core four, but
Still there.
not
It's
not not
Not
quite
as
the end,
solid.
not quite
Yeah,
yet.
not
Not
quite the
solid.
end.
but
Yes.
it's still there.
Yeah,
But it's teetering. It's teetering.
it's teetering. Yeah, yeah, one thing that I don't know if I made it a prediction, but yeah, confirmed. Destiny is confirmed. I'm calling it
Yeah.
Destiny. By the way, Martin, it's
That's
Yeah.
a
Destiny.
that's
Destiny.
that's a really cool
I
that's
like
a
it
really cool ship name.
Yeah,
because
there.
I'll take that ship name because it's Austin Destiny to win. Yes,
Oh, I
yes,
have a different take on it. But anyway,
yes.
before we go to those predictions, let's go with whose line is it actually?
Yeah,
The
this is a
title of
harder
next
one.
episode is "This Game Rips Your Heart Out."
This is harder one.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh.
my prediction is it's Emily.
Mm.
It's gonna come from Emily.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Talking about the game.
talking about the game. Oh, yeah, yeah. I actually,
Wait,
yeah,
oh no, go ahead.
yeah. I actually had the same thing.
Okay, so
It'll also be
Emily
Emily.
for you guys. Okay.
Going back to how we have been seeing her hero's journey, and her hero's journey comes from being someone who was very cold and calculating
Yes,
as
it
an
was.
analyst. She was a cold and calculating player to showing more and more of her humanity, again underscoring the fact that the show is focusing on the humanity of castaways. So she gets to a point where it becomes such an emotional thing to do, right? So this game rips your heart out. It's something that you, I mean, it's something that, yeah, it's such a, I don't know, it's an emotional. So she will go through something emotional yet again to add on to her hero's journey, transitioning from being a robot to a real human being. Well, actually, she was a human being the entire time. It's just that
Yes,
we didn't quite see it at the
she
start.
wouldn't budge
Yeah.
at first. I think I might go. I might veer off the Emily train and maybe, since you mentioned it, maybe D, because they're hitting it off already next episode. Maybe talks
Okay.
about there might be a chance the four might, run off on separate ways, and she may have to take out Austin, even though they're having this showmance in the upcoming episode. Might rip my
Mm.
heart out, but this is the
Whoa.
game. It's like a whole Boston Rob Amber thing, but it's, we're seeing it from, Mama D's side,
Mama D?
no, because she's the mommy of Austin. Sorry, I'm laying it thick on the WWE references right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the other person that it has
Mm.
a non-zero chance of being is what who's this? Julie.
Mm.
Given
It
the
could
emotional
be
journey
though.
that she's been on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that production would focus on,
Yeah.
given that they've already focused in on it a little bit this time,
Mhm.
and gave her big speech during tribal council.
Mm.
But that's another possibility.
True. True. Okay, so that's it. For me, for Zhao, it's Emily or Julie. More Emily than Julie. For me, it's Emily. And then for Martin, it is D. Mama D. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Other predictions. What other predictions do you have?
Hmm.
Who's gonna go? Who's gonna be voted out?
Is it going to be D's time to get voted out? Is
Oh.
it is it
Oh,
is it
I have a
D's
thought
time?
on that. I have a thought on that.
It
And
could
it
be if it's her line. It could be. It could.
so
It's like a
here's
reverse.
here's my thought on that. First things first, we're gonna have a reward challenge. And the reward challenge is gonna be a date. So it's gonna
Ooh.
be Destiny is gonna get the reward. But it's not just gonna be two of them. They're gonna bring in a third, and they're bringing in Jake just for the awkwardness of it.
I
Right?
can see the comedy right now. And they're
Yeah.
trying to be
Just
sweet. Like,
yeah.
hey guys,
Just,
check this out. Oh, oh, oh. Like,
Yeah,
just
because
gonna ruin
yeah,
the mood.
just to have
Go
that.
on,
So
go on.
but
Go
that
on.
builds the relationship of Dee and Austin, right? Dee's thingy. And then towards the end, you mentioned if it's Dee's time, I am going to say that it's not.
Oh, okay.
I'm big on sacrifice. Austin sacrifices
Oh
himself for
no.
Dee. He
Whew.
gives her his last
The
idol because
immunity
Julie
idol,
will
yeah.
not give him back
Yep.
the one that she got
Mhm.
from him, and
Oh,
Austin gets the ricochet votes.
Ooh. It's the
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it,
it's the one that will count,
yeah.
I think,
He'll get
right?
the.
Yeah.
What do you mean the one that will count?
Because if D is gonna use it, Julie's gonna use it. It's
Yeah. So
yeah,
Austin's.
it's gonna be Austin.
Mhm.
yeah.
So that's my thought on the whole thing. So they're star-crossed lovers, and then Dee will sacrifice herself the next one. So it's a total Romeo and Juliet thing, so that they can spend time in
In
Ponderosa together.
Ponderosa. Whoa.
Ponderosa, yeah.
She can
That's
have
what
D's
Sesternino.
nuts. Sorry.
Yeah. That's what Sesternino terms it. Ponderosa.
Yeah, Ponderosa. She.
Okay, this is taking a different turn. That's why I always check not for children for
Yeah.
whenever I upload these videos.
This is why it's not
Uh,
PG.
If
yeah.
uh if D gets voted out first and Austin comes in next, she should have like a plate of nuts. Check out these nuts.
These nuts.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, other predictions, guys.
Okay. Okay. Um, I don't know. Maybe if Bruce is done, I guess this is Austin's immunity run. It started already.
Austin
Maybe.
immunity,
I
right?
think because Bruce was hogging it all up, all two of those episodes.
Yeah, immunity
That's
beast.
got to be another new
Or
run,
challenge
man.
beast, yeah.
It has to be a run. So my hopes on Austin. I don't know why.
You know
Uh,
why? Because he's your canonical winner pick.
the only winner pick because I'm lazy to replace him. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Yeah.
What about you, Joe? Any other
God,
predictions?
I'm still
These
I'm
nuts.
still trying to
You're
get over your
yeah, these
I'm still
nuts.
trying to no, no,
Nuts.
no. I'm still there was this one time that my cousins and I were like drinking, right? Or like we were having it was at a party or something.
Mm.
And and somebody brought like peanuts or whatever. And like one of my cousins asked like which nuts, and then at least like three or four of us just simultaneously yelled these nuts. So um yeah, I'm still trying to get over like you have been working your storytelling chops, man. uh, like you have been like flexing that muscle a little bit more,
Yeah.
because this is the sort of thing that you've I,
And I'm also working a D&D campaign, so that's another set of
Oh,
storytelling.
okay. Yeah.
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 And I remember one of the biggest projects that you that you did back when I was like a super senior in college was Romeo and Juliet. So
Mm. Yeah.
um this feels like this feels
It's
like that sort of
Shakespearean.
um so the next time on Survivors
Mm.
telling us two things. One is Austin and D, and the other is that Julie is gonna go rogue. And I'm going to I'm gonna have to go by our sort of logic that these are sort of
Oh.
nothing. That these are nothing. So Julie doesn't go rogue.
Oh.
She says that she's gonna go rogue, but she's not gonna go rogue. Let me just put that on. Julie doesn't go rogue.
Oh, okay.
Um, because D is like, oh, your life is in my hands, whatever, whatever. So it can either be that that D is eliminated by Mama Julie's hands, or Julie does what she can to protect Dee in light of the thing that she did,
Mm.
Oh,
in light of her realization, this episode,
Mm.
right? So, if she goes rogue, it's not going to be going rogue against D, because D is her number one, and it would appear as though the target is on D. At least that's what the next time on Survivor is telling us. And so
Mhm.
Julie is saying that she's going to go rogue. In other words, is going to be my nothing burger of the week. She's not going to go rogue. That's the red herring, which means we are going to have the D and
Mm.
Austin sort of showman's thing going on. But yeah, I think there's I I think so where am I? Yeah, Julie doesn't go rogue, saves D. Um, we get the Austin D love story thing, which means, but I do think that we're already setting up the breaking up of the Reba
Of the re
before.
before, yeah.
So I think it's Drew's time.
Oh,
oh, wait, it's oh,
But
Drew's time to
like,
go.
yeah,
Because you did mention that it would make sense for them to start cannibalizing each other because they need
yeah.
people on the jury. Yeah.
yeah,
He had this bro moment. Now it's time to
Yeah.
go
yeah,
off into the sunset.
yeah, because
Sad person. Sad person.
right
There was there
because
were a couple of people in social media who again juxtaposed that post
Yeah.
with the stick insect.
Oh no. No. Why are you doing that to my boy, Drew?
right, but well, thus far the show has been telling us that the Power Alliance, the two strong alliances in the Power Alliance are D and Julie,
Mm.
and Drew and Austin.
Mhm.
Now, if we are to believe that D and Austin are going to be a thing,
Mhm.
then we're going to have to assume that that's going to be the stronger relationship than the Austin, than the Austin and Drew relationship. So the
Yeah.
relationship that's going to win out is a man
Yeah.
thinks with his second head, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be the relationship that wins out, and I suppose the other sort of foreshadowing of it is how Drew talks about how he's not like comfortable being with the boys, whatever, right?
Mhm.
So this alliance with Austin might be something that's a little bit uncomfortable for him, since he's not used to,
Broing out.
yeah, not used to broing out. In Austin looks exactly like the type of person that would absolutely and totally bro out in
Mhm.
like Phi Sigma Alpha, you know.
True. True.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And I
So
actually
so
think
that's
that
my prediction.
yeah, I actually think that Emily might be able to get Drew over to her side, only to probably lose him in a vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other predictions, guys? That's it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move over to sorry, survivors of the week. Starting with castaway of the week.
Emily, Emily. Everybody say
Yeah,
Emily.
by far, by far. Again, makes me scared that for her getting a possible Jesse edit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, if it's happening, it's gonna happen. But he's doing
yeah,
strong right now, so good.
yeah.
Yeah, props.
Moving over to goat of the week.
Oh, Jake,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
think
it's painful, but it has. It's
I'm not saying, I'm not using goat of the week in the this guy lost
Yeah.
survivor this week, right? Like
Yeah.
he's the one that is most dragged
Being
to the
strung along. Yeah.
endable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should have it could have been Bruce. I don't think anybody was going to vote for Bruce at the end of it, but right now it feels like it's Jake.
Mhm.
However, if you look at the composition of the jury, if they bring Jake to the end,
Jake is
and
gonna
They
win.
like Jake.
right, so
Yeah.
if it's if it's again if it's say like Jake, Julie, and like Drew or Austin,
Mm.
like Jake straight up
Jake's
is
gonna.
winning,
Yeah.
right? It's sort of like a strategic, hate spite voting or whatever.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm voting for you is because I'm not voting for them, sort of thing. But to the people in the game, and if we're going by the sort of logic that the people at the end are going to give it to the person that played the game the best,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't always the case, but if we're going with that particular reasoning, then it has to be Jake that they're bringing to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
And
the
right,
caveat,
that.
oh sorry,
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Go ahead.
with the caveat that recent winners haven't necessarily been 100% the best players all throughout the season.
Yeah.
They were good enough players that everybody liked, or everybody on the jury liked.
Mm.
So
There's a premium on social likability.
yeah, but who knows what the jury is gonna look like? But right now, if you're going to bring anybody to the end,
It's Jake.
Jake.
But knowing that it's Caleb who's the mayor of Ponderosa, yeah, I think that he will appreciate gameplay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Jake also because he's practically everyone's backup vote. He was, yeah, this episode, right?
Yeah.
Had it not been Bruce, it was gonna be Jake, right?
Yeah. Good thing he's a good swimmer.
Good thing he's a good swimmer. Yeah, all the Jakeisms that he's brought us.
He likes good things.
Yeah.
You know who isn't a good swimmer?
Unfortunately, Katura. Yeah. Anyway, purple of the week.
I don't feel anyone in the cast was a purple.
No, not just anyone, anything that you felt did not have as much screen time or was not shown. I know that Zhao's got a joke nomination right now.
See, I have nothing. So
You don't got nothing. All right. So Zhao, what's yours?
My purple of the week is Martin's purple of the
week. Hey, okay, yeah. I actually also had a hard time thinking of a purple of the week. Wait, do you actually have a purple of the week, Joe?
I was gonna say Katura's swimming skills, but the Martin joke presented itself on a silver platter. So.
I thought you were gonna say the acting. Oh yeah, Bruce's acting skills.
Well, that too. But yeah. So yeah, my yeah, yeah. That's why it doesn't necessarily have to be anyone. Right?
Did you buy it? The acting skills?
Actually, yes, I did. Oh my god, I was cooking.
I did too.
I
think that Katura as well bought it. And not if Bruce had not revealed to her that was her plan, that was his plan, she would have ridden with it.
But she hates him so much.
Dude, when I heard Bruce tell that to Katura, I should have mentioned this in the main show. I'm sorry, but like when Bruce mentioned that to Katura, and then it cut to a confessional of Bruce saying that
it's a plan.
Because what he said was, I gave my idol to
Kelly.
I gave my idol to Kelly because I was afraid of knowledge's power, blah blah blah. Except it's actually in my pants. The payoff for the Flint setup, or a callback maybe to his
the zipper.
To the zipper.
But like I was literally like doing this. I literally had my hair in my my hands in my hair, like, oh my god, what the hell? And then he was like, oh,
and then he tells,
here. Like,
that was so stupid. That was yeah.
Oh,
There was no follow through.
That would have been the best plan, actually.
Yeah.
That would have been the best plan. I actually had that question. Bruce's plan was good or bad? Yeah. If
Mm,
and even the way that he was talking to Jake, that was even more. At least for me, the way that he
It
was
was
talking
more
about it,
convincing.
it was it was as if he was so hopeless already.
yeah,
Gotta play it a different way. And he was like,
yeah.
he's
I think
actually.
Maybe
I think
he's
that
the real
Katura bought it.
thespian all along.
no, I
I,
think maybe the thespians were the friends we made along the
Yeah,
way.
along the
yeah,
way.
But I think it was a decent plan. It was a
yeah,
decent plan. It's just Katura hates Bruce, and Bruce doesn't know that Katura hates him.
yeah,
So, or in that moment, didn't know that Katura was gonna be like, girls' night out. Like, Bruce is gonna, right?
yeah.
So,
But I think that if
it would have been
Bruce
it
had
would have
not
been
told her, if Bruce had not told her that it was a plan, she would have ridden with it,
yeah,
right?
and he would have played his idol, and it would have been a blind side, and Bruce would win the season.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Unfortunately, that goes to my purple of the week. Bruce's ability to read others well.
yeah,
That is what plagued him the entire season.
yeah,
He was unable to read the room, basically, or
yeah,
Yep.
since they're in an island, unable to read the campsite. I don't know. Yeah. So he was unable. That's why it was so easy as well for Emily to manipulate him, and to not playing his idol. That's why, and that's how he also wasn't able to perceive the way that his treatment of Kelly was being received. And that's why he did not know that Katura still had some, because they had already like sort of patched things up. Emily brought the two of them together, right? Let's
yeah,
work together. I think it's time we all work together. Whatever, yada yada yada. And then the next scene, as we see Bruce and Katura picking up sticks, and then he tells her the plan, and then he wasn't able to read Katura that well, right?
yeah,
And that's what blew up his game. That's why
yeah,
he got voted home. So that's my purple of the week. Bruce's ability to read others well.
yeah. That was really why Bruce. I don't know. That was his downfall in
Yeah,
this game. His inability to read the room.
Very
yeah,
dramatic.
yeah. Any other thoughts? The juxtapotitos.
Great episode. Great episode.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Oh my
Beautiful
God.
episode.
It's
Yeah.
rolling, man. It's rolling. I'm excited for next episode after this one.
Nice. Yes, so am I. Alrighty then.
This episode made me feel things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
I was
cold,
like-
dead heart of mine felt things.
I was like, Alright.
Oh, there's something in my eye.
there's something in my eye. Oh.
You were at the
Yeah.
office, but no. Like,
Yeah. Lunchtime.
why
It
I
was
watch at
lunchtime.
home.
Good
This
thing.
is-
Good thing.
Watch
Good
at
thing it was lunchtime, and I had like my door closed. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, anyway,
It's
yeah.
the dust.
Yeah, it's the dust. It's,
It's the dust in this
dusty.
place.
Yeah.
and then somebody walks in. Are you okay? It's just really getting to me. Look at me. We all hit the survivor wall.
Yeah. Even the way that, I mean, yeah, going back to to Bruce
Yeah.
not being able to read people well, when he revealed to Jake that it was a plan, right? It goes back to that,
Oh.
right?
He didn't reveal it to he didn't reveal to Jake that it was a plan.
He did in the
He
end.
did.
Oh yeah.
That's
at-
why
at the
In
end.
the end.
Jake
in the
said
end.
he didn't like people.
Yeah.
Lying to him.
Lying
like,
to him.
Yeah,
Damn
he
it,
should have.
Bruce.
He should have flipped it. He should have told he should have told Jake that it was a plan and
Mm.
let it
Not let
leak
Katura
through
know.
Katura. Yeah.
He didn't know that Jake valued honesty.
Yeah. Hey,
Anyway, that's it for tonight's episode. A lot of great things that we could talk about this episode. Not a lot of lows, and we are very much excited about the next one. And we would appreciate it if you join us again next time. And also, before doing that, please hit the like button on this episode so we don't get voted off the channel. At any rate, this has been Joel Parkon.
hi, I'm a potato.
And for one last time for Bruce.
All right.
This Martin. This is-
Okay, there you go. We hope to see you on the council again soon. Until then, stay safe mga kalaro. The Titos have spoken.